The holiday of Purim, which we'll be celebrating very soon, is unique. We celebrate the great salvation. The Jews were earmarked for total destruction, just like the Holocaust, but on one day. And instead they were saved, and all of their enemies were destroyed. So this was a great, great victory for the Jewish people. And it is celebrated by performing mitzvos, reading the Megillah at night and by day. The giving of gifts to the poor is a very significant mitzvah, and exchanging basically food portions, food gifts with one's friends are the main mitzvahs of the day. However, there's another aspect to it which is very strange, and that is it's unusual in the sense that it's a time when the Jews kind of let loose, and there's a certain raucousness, a certain wildness in the air. People dress up in all kinds of costumes and act in a very giddy kind of way, and even certain, disrespectfulness, a lack of respect. For example, students will make up all kinds of skits and poke fun at their teachers, within reason, but things that are generally not acceptable. And also, there's a lot of drinking. In fact, it's brought down that it's a mitzvah to imbibe and to reach the point where a person doesn't know the difference between blessed is Mordechai and cursed is Haman, which is very, very strange. Because Judaism doesn't prohibit drinking, but within moderation. You make kiddush on the Sabbath, the holidays, but not to the point of drunkenness. So what's the reason behind all of this? This raucousness that we experience on Purim. And I think it's really to sort of reenact the nature of the experience. There's certain things where the joy is so great you can't contain yourself. So, for example, when a person is earmarked for the worst possible calamity, and there's no way out, and there's no hope, and suddenly the entire situation turns around, and he's saved, he has a great salvation, and all of his enemies are destroyed, it's a tremendous outpouring of emotion. And when people experience that, it breaks down all the social barriers. So the lowest person in the society, the one who's a beggar, can embrace and hug with the most significant individual who's a leading executive. And normally the two wouldn't even really talk to each other, but now we're all together. Everybody is celebrating together, and all of the social inhibitions have been removed. I think that's the reason for the raucousness on Purim, and it's tolerated. You can make jokes, you can even poke fun at your teachers and even rabbis, and drinking and so on and so forth. It's to reenact the nature of the celebration that we experienced. And this can have its dangerous side. It can't be unlimited drinking. That can lead to terrible things. Actually, the Gemara recounts in Megillah about Rabbah and Rav Zera, two great sages, and they had their Suda together. And the Rabbah got extremely drunk. And it says that he slew Rav Zera. I don't know if it's taken literally, that he was actually dead. The next day, when he sobered up, he prayed for Rav Zera, and he came back to life. Could have been that he was very, very sick, and his prayers, and he was cured. The next year, Rabbah again invited Rav Zera to his Purim meal, and Rav Zera kind of refused. He said, miracles don't happen all the time. So, therefore, even though one is supposed to let loose, one is supposed to drink and have a great time, but certain cautions should be taken. Obviously, a person shouldn't get near a car in terms of driving, and he should be careful about that. It should be a pleasant day. The Rambam says that indeed, at the Suda, one is supposed to drink more than usual until he falls asleep. That way you fulfill the requirement, and also you're careful. You don't want to endanger anybody, yourself or anybody else, when you're performing this great mitzvah. Everybody should have a happy Purim.